Crypto investors, this is the moment of truth. We have so many big resistances coming up, so many key levels that we need to pass, and they're getting very close. I want to go through this. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. We'll also be going through some of the big news over the last 24 hours and trying to quantify how big a news this is, and giving you all the information you need going into the weekend, because this could be an explosive weekend and an explosive next week, because we do have CPI and PPI coming out along with more earnings. So if you don't mind, like I said, hit subscribe. If you want to trade crypto, a lot of people have been loving CoinM, which is basically the ability to leverage trade with crypto as collateral. I didn't realize that BLOFIN had this capability when I started these trades, but you can now trade crypto with crypto as collateral. I don't even think they had CoinM back in the day, but for example, on this link trade, right, you could trade with 10x, and on this 10% move, you would get 100% return. But if you trade with linked tokens, you could even get a better return, and you could get paid in linked tokens. So I could have done that on some of these trades and gotten paid a lot more and had it in the cryptocurrencies that are going up in value. So if I was waiting to open the trade, or I took some profits on the trade, it would still sit in the crypto, which could appreciate in the meantime while I'm trading or waiting to trade. So check out this link to BLOFIN underneath the video. We also have that over on BYDeFi, which BYDeFi is wrapping up a huge campaign right now. We just have a few hours left where you can get up to $10,000 worth of XRP. The reason I bring up BLOFIN as well, they have SUI. Someone was just saying that they wish they could trade SUI on CoinM, and right now they have SUI. BYDeFi doesn't, but they have a variety of different CoinM cryptos. You can see some of them here. I'm getting paid 141 XRP, 0.66 Solana. So check it out underneath the video. There's also a link to the Telegram in case you want free videos, exclusive videos, early access to videos. And you can get in the whale chat there as well if you're a trader, and you get some exclusive benefits and perks if you're a trader. So check that out underneath the video. Let's start here. The Bitcoin ETFs had inflows. Right? They had inflows of 277 million yesterday, 156 coming from from BlackRock. This is good news. Obviously, they've been one of the biggest sellers, or I'd say the biggest seller that we can see over the last couple weeks. But having an inflow definitely caused the market to go up, and we'll go through technicals here in a moment with Bitcoin and with XRP and with Ethereum too. But this is nice to see. We also have inflows of 222 million over into the Ethereum ETFs. This is definitely causing some momentum because Ethereum just hit 4,000. It hit 4,000 for the first time since 2024. So congrats to all the Ethereum investors. I mean, it's crazy to think about this. It went all the way down to $1,400 per coin back in April. I did not even realize that. It is up nearly 200% since then. Congrats to everyone that bought back here. Of course, if you were someone that bought like back here, you could be actually negative on Ethereum for a year and a couple months. But yeah, for everyone that bought the recent dip, congrats, because that is an awesome return over a couple months. And obviously, the Ethereum ETFs are buying a lot. It seems like Ethereum is looking more bullish from a fundamental standpoint than ever. And that will translate into technicals eventually. Yesterday, President Trump signed 2 important executive orders relating to crypto. First, the guarantee fair banking for all Americans. Obviously, there was this Operation Choke Point where crypto companies were getting cut off. They weren't really any banking institutions that would take them. And then also now 90 million workers will be able to start buying crypto through their 401ks, or their 401k plans will start being allowed to use crypto as an investment vehicle. This is fantastic news. I did a video yesterday showing what this could mean for the price of Bitcoin over time, and it gets pretty crazy. So yeah, that's great news as well. Yesterday, the SEC versus Ripple case got dismissed. The case is over. This is great news, not just for XRP, but for all of crypto. It shows kind of the end of an era. The choke point 2.0, SEC filing Wells notices and lawsuits and fines against every single crypto company. And most of them were the best actors, because in America, the best actors are usually the ones that do business year after year and have significant amounts of money to be able to sue over. And yeah, we had 5 or 10 large exchanges, like top tier exchanges in the US, that were getting tens of millions of dollars in fines. So it's great to see this over. And Ripple still had to pay a fine, I believe, but it was smaller than expected. And of course, they had all the fees from the lawsuit, but congrats to them, because they were the ones fighting the SEC for years. And now the token is near all-time highs. Speaking of that, Bitcoin dominance falling down a bit today. Seemed like we were rebounding a bit, but now it's falling down 61%. 61% on Bitcoin dominance. Very close to the bottom side of this channel. If we break below it, and it's a substantial move below it, be ready for altcoin season, because people will get very excited, and I think they'll start aping into alts, especially if Bitcoin's going up, obviously. I don't see a world where Bitcoin's really falling much and we're seeing alts go up substantially, but we could see a small pullback, I suppose, but more likely it would be that Bitcoin's moving up to maybe 120 or something, but then alts see a massive move. And another way to look at this is total 2. This is the crypto market cap minus Bitcoin. So we are getting close to the top side of this range. Keep in mind, alts were actually bigger in market cap back in November of 2021. How crazy is that? We have not broken out to new highs outside of Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin's added so much to the market cap that the total market cap of crypto is at new all-time highs, but altcoins have not hit all-time highs yet. A large part of that is due to Ethereum underperforming. It's still not at all-time highs yet, but we would have to have another 8% move to break above this line, or to touch this line. To get to new all-time highs, we would need a more substantial move, and it would be around 14 or 15%. It's kind of crazy. People think that the market's overvalued, but right now, crypto altcoins have not performed all that well overall, right? I mean, XRP's done well this cycle, Solana's done well, Ethereum's starting to do well, Sui's done well, but that's, I don't want to say that's it, but that's pretty much it. There might be a few other smaller cryptos, but that's been where the majority of the gains are. I mean, look at something like DOT or Chainlink, and they're nowhere near all-time highs. Let's pull up DOT here. Polkadot, which was one of the top 10 last cycle. I mean, it went up to $55, and now it's at $4. So there's still cryptos that are nowhere near where they were in 2021. So that'll be interesting to watch. So yeah, if we see a 10% move on a lot of altcoins, or 20% move, pay attention to this chart, because we could be seeing the beginning of an alt season. Bitcoin in general is kind of at an interesting place too. We're in this descending channel. If we break 118, I think things get really bullish. Of course, we could see some more liquidations to the downside. Now that we're moving up, we actually see more liquidations if we go down than up over the next week or so, if you look at the heat map or the liquidation map. So yeah, pay attention to that. XRP is looking bullish though. We have a $3.39 XRP last night. Keep in mind, the recent high is $3.67. This is from July. Actually, July we hit this. That's kind of crazy. Again, I didn't realize that we had gone that high just a few weeks ago. That was a new high from back in November and December. We went to about $3.36. So, yeah, this is maybe a little bit of resistance around 340 from this previous high in January. But then the new high would be $3.67 to pay attention to. But yeah, great news from XRP, great news for crypto over the last day. We are at a key level for Bitcoin, for Ethereum. Ethereum very close to 4,000 now. Got rejected at 4,000 just a few minutes ago, but we've been rejected 4 separate times, months apart, 4 separate times over the last year and a half, between 3,900 and 4,100. So we really do need a clean break above this. And then the next resistance, probably around 4,300, 4,400 because of this previous peak. And then the all-time high of about 4,900. All right, so we've had so much momentum with Ethereum. I would not be surprised to see us break out and have an explosive move. We've seen a lot of short liquidations on this move up. And look at this, like going from 3,000 to 3,900, 30% move in a week after 3 green weeks before. Yeah, we're going to see some more liquidations in my mind. Of course, there's lower volume over the weekend. We do have CPI and PPI coming out next week. But yeah, if you've been investing in crypto, you've probably done really well. So congrats to everyone that's watching this. If you do want to get more exposure to crypto, as I said, you can use leverage strategically. Like, don't just 100x leverage and just lose your entire portfolio, but you can use it strategically with a small percentage of your portfolio. And if you're in crypto in general, you've probably done quite well. One person that I think has fumbled the bag that I've been a bit critical of for a while, Ryan Cohen, CEO of GameStop, has unfollowed all Bitcoin accounts. GameStop now holds $8.5 billion in cash and $500 million in Bitcoin. All right. GameStop, maybe 2 years ago, I was saying should buy Bitcoin. There's maybe one company that bought Bitcoin since MicroStrategy that was using it as a treasury company that gave me the idea, why doesn't GameStop do that, right? They have this loyal following. They're all about like the meme stock and embracing that to be able to dilute shareholders to buy time. And I said, why don't they buy Bitcoin instead? And a year and a half later, they announced that they're going to buy Bitcoin. They raised all this money, $5 billion, and they put only 1/10 of it into Bitcoin. They went to the Bitcoin conference. People asked, well, what are you going to do? When are you going to buy the rest of the Bitcoin? Are you going to become the next MicroStrategy? And they said, well, we're not the next MicroStrategy. We're not going to tell you when we're going to buy or anything like that. And either they got cold feet putting that much into Bitcoin. Maybe they lied the entire time about, why they were raising capital. But this is quite disappointing because they had the opportunity to buy $10 billion of Bitcoin, or near $10 billion, and they fumbled the bag. They could have bought it at 74,000, 75,000, 100,000. They could be worth, that $10 billion could be worth $15 billion now, but they've fumbled the bag in my mind. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, check out BLOFIN, check out BYDeFi as well, BTCC, all underneath. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.